Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Central. Happy Mother's Day. Love you, Mom. Why don't you stand and sing with us? Joy awaits my praise. I give thanks for all you have done, and I will sing of your mercy and your love. Your love is unfailing, Lord, I am grateful. Set my feet on higher ground. So here I stand. You are my God. Your faithfulness, my solid rock. Oh, sing it. I give thanks for all you have done, and I will sing of your mercy and your love. Your love is unfailing, Lord, I am grateful. I give thanks for all you have done. I won't forget all the battles you have won. Your love is unfailing, Lord, I am grateful. So grateful for you. And as we lift our hands up, heaven's open, heaven's open. So let our lives declare the love our God has spoken over us. And as we lift our hands up, heaven's open, heaven's open. So let our lives declare the love our God has spoken over us. Thank you, God. I give thanks for all you have done, and I will sing of your mercy and your love. Your love is unfailing, Lord, I am grateful. I give thanks for all you have done. I won't forget all the battles you have won. Your love is unfailing, Lord, I am grateful. It's your heart we're searching for. We want you and nothing more. Let your glory fill this place. We're alive in your presence. It's your heart we're searching for. We want you and nothing more. Let your glory fill this place. We're alive in your presence. 'Cause we surrender all to
what you want to. You were the Word at the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you are Christ. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is, the name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a beautiful name it is, nothing compares to this. What a beautiful name it is, the name of Jesus. Didn't want heaven without us, so Jesus, you brought heaven down. My sin was great, your love was greater, but what can separate us now? What a wonderful name it is. What a wonderful name. What a
acknowledge that you have no rival, you have no equal, that you are King forever. And God, we thank you so much for your presence. We thank you that there's power and healing in the name of Jesus. And we thank you, God, that that power lives in us if we choose to surrender and we choose to follow you. So we thank you for that this morning, God. We're aware of that this morning. We acknowledge your presence, we acknowledge your power, and we choose you. In Jesus' mighty name, everyone said, amen. You guys can go ahead and take a seat.
Well, welcome to Central. My name is Johnny, and I just want to take a minute here to say thank you so much for being here with us this beautiful Mother's Day Sunday morning, especially if you're a guest. If this is your first time a part of our experience, maybe your mom begged you to come to church with her today and you said, sure, finally, I'll come. Whatever reason you're here, we're just so excited that you're here, a part of our family this morning. We'd love to connect with you. We even want to give you a gift to say thank you so much for joining us. How you receive that gift is take the connection card found at the back of the seat in front of you, fill out some info on there, and then immediately following our experience, you can exchange that card at the big blue wall, Central Connect in our lobby, and we'd love to connect with you and give you a gift today. If you're watching online, same thing for you as well. Click the New Here tab. We'd love to connect with you and give you a gift as well. At this time, I'm going to invite our host to the front as we begin to give this morning. Now, if you are a guest with us, please feel zero obligation to give. This is simply something that we do as a church family to invest in what God's doing in our church and through our entire community. And so don't feel any obligation to give. But if you are a regular giving partner and would like to give today, there are multiple ways you can do that. You can give via the plates that are being passed around right now. You can give at our giving kiosk out in the lobby. You can give online at centralcc.ca/give, or you can even text the word give to the number on the screen. So that is available for you today. So as we give, there's a few things I want to let you know about. First off, I have the privilege of concluding our hashtag Mama Nation competition that's been going on the last couple weeks. Last couple weeks, we have encouraged our church family to go to social media, share a little bit about a woman in their life that has made an impact, that is inspiring, using the hashtag Mama Nation and tagging our church. And so we gathered all of those and we randomly chose winners. And so today's winner is Gertrude Ledwez. Gertrude Ledwez. So if you could stand up, Gertrude, we have a beautiful David's Tea gift bag for you today. Gertrude, she's back there. Oh, there she is. Hi, Gertrude. Right on. Give her a round of applause. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of our Mama Nation competition. It's been great to be able to honor women during this season leading up to today. There's a couple other things I want to let you know about. If you are interested in participating in missions trips with Central, we have an info session happening on May 28th. We actually have 2 info sessions happening at 10 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. So if you're interested in joining us on a trip to Cuba, join us at 10 a.m. in room 206 on the 28th. Or if you're interested in joining us on a trip to the Dominican Republic, join us at 11:30 a.m. in room 206 on the 28th. The 28th is actually a really busy day because we're also have something really exciting that's happening. You should have received an email about it this week. It's our annual business meeting. It's happening at 6 p.m. on the 28th. And so we would love to see you here. It's going to be an opportunity to hear about our campaign in our building. We're also going to be voting on new board members to be a part of our church board. And so if you are a partner as well, and you can't make it here physically in person, we're actually going to be doing a live stream. And if you register ahead of time, you're going to actually be able to vote via the live stream to be a part of that. So make sure you mark that off on your calendar and you join us for that. If you have any questions, go talk to Paul Robertson. He'll be out in the lobby at the big wood wall out there. And so one more cool thing I got to announce to you today. We are setting aside a whole day in June to appreciate our volunteers. Check this video out.
All right, guys, so here's the deal. We have 837 volunteers that are a part of our church, and the truth is, they are the heartbeat of what makes Central, Central. And so we were thinking the other day, what if we were to actually put on a volunteer appreciation day just for them and their families as a simple way to say thank you. So here's what I'm thinking. What if you guys could help us with creating some really friendly competition to get people excited about our volunteer appreciation day? I think you could help.
Yeah, I say so.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. I'm down.
1,000%. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
I literally am ready to go right now. Let's do it.
No, I'm serious. Like, come on, let's do this right now.
Get me in there, coach!
Okay, great. So here's what I'm thinking. So imagine it's Saturday, it's June 10th, it's 11 a.m., we're in Charles Daly Park, and people have their lawn chairs. I'm talking there's some pig roast and other food for people who aren't into that. Kids are playing. I think there's bouncy castles, friends. We're talking music's going, desserts, snacks. And what if you two guys were our team leaders, Team Red and Team Blue? And people can join your teams if they want to or not. They can compete for prizes. What do you think? Do you think people would be interested in something like that?
So that is happening on June 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Bring your lawn chairs. Come down to Charles Daly Park. And so if you're a volunteer, we really just want to appreciate you and give you a fun day for you and your family. So also, if you could register an RSVP for that, you'll be getting an email invite in the next coming week or two. So keep your eyes open for that. And so we are right now in the middle of a series called Life Hacks, and they're just tips and ways that you can improve your life. But we also want to give you practical little skills that you can use to make your life a little bit easier. And so without further ado, this is this week's rendition of Live Life Hacks. So this week of Live Life Hacks is a Mother's Day edition. Now, moms, we know that every single day raising children, you have multiple hurdles that you have to get over just to overcome a day. And we wanted to give you some tips and tricks to make those things on the daily basis a little bit easier. The first thing is, how do you get your children to eat their vegetables, right? How do you get them to eat the dreaded broccoli? Well, simple life hack, dip it in some whipped topping, some sprinkles. Mommy, I love broccoli. So good. Summer's coming up, so our second life hack has to do with how do you keep track of your kids at events when you're in large crowds? Maybe you're going to go to a amusement park, and how do you make sure that you have your child by your side at the end of the day? Well, we found by simply ordering a tattoo gun off of Amazon for $10, you can actually, like my mom did when I was a child, I'm gonna just touch mine up here. You can actually put your phone number on the inside of their arm. Oh yeah, feels good. And that way you can pretty much guarantee that you'll have your child back at the end of the day. Look at that, so simple, right? One last life hack, how do you get your child to go to sleep at bedtime so that you and daddy can have, your alone time? How do you get your child to go to sleep? Well, at Central, we actually have a very simple trick, and actually we have an online forum in which you can help put your child to sleep. All you have to do is go to centralcc.ca/watch, choose any one of Bill Markham's sermon series, press play, and it's guaranteed to put anyone to sleep. So that's it for this week's Live Life Hacks. Tune in next week as we give you more tips and tricks to make your life a little bit easier. Happy Mother's Day.
Well, good morning. Happy Mother's Day. And not just to moms, but also to stepmoms, single moms, spiritual moms, grandmoms. We love you all. So happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Yeah. So you're here, okay, moms, you're here. You probably screamed at your kids the entire way. It's okay. You're here now. Take a deep breath. Sit back, relax. They're downstairs. They're in kids' ministry. There's nothing you need to worry about. And if they're still with you, husbands, what are you waiting for? Downstairs with the kids. Come on, let's go. Well, today I get to share the stage with these amazing women here. And before we get to know them a little bit, you're probably wondering who I am. Well, my name is Ashley Birdie. I'm on staff here at Central. I have been for over 9 years. I've done various different roles here and there. But for the last 5 years, I've actually been with Pastor Bill as his personal assistant. So if you've ever wondered who the brains is behind the operation, today you're meeting her. Yes, thank you. And I think we have a picture of my family. This is my beautiful family. My husband, Scott, my son, Anthony, and my daughter, Bianca, whom I love. They're awesome, so that's my family there. So that's a little bit about me, and let's get to know these women here. Today they're here. They're going to share with us just some life hacks, something that they've learned along the way, being a mom and a spiritual mom, and things that they've been going through, and you're just going to share that with us, share a bit of your stories with us, and we're excited to hear that today. So let's just get to know you guys. So you are either staff of Central, or you have a husband that works here on staff, so we kept it in the family today, okay? So Gina, why don't you start? Just tell us a little bit about who you are.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. My name is Gina Gallo, and my husband is... and my husband is Jonathan Gallo. He's on staff. We have 2 children, Grace and Hope, 7 and 5. And when you see a family photo that's matching, there's a lot of woman motherly thought behind that. So that's just a little tip. When you see it all looks good, there's a lot of planning behind that. And so we've been coming here to Central for a little over 3.5 years. I barely get to church sometimes, Sunday mornings with those 2. That's it. That's us.
Hi, I'm Heather Robertson, and my husband is Paul, and I have a daughter, Hannah, who's 15, and my son, Josiah, is 13, almost 14. And you might see me sometimes on a Sunday down in the nursery. That's kind of my area during this service.
Hi.
All right.
I'm Christiane Rutledge, and for my full-time job, just to kind of switch it up a little bit, I work at Meridian, so some of my Meridian peeps are out here. And my family is on this big screen as well. And there's Isaiah, and Kian, and Kiana, and Emerson. So we are the Redhead Brute Squad.
Thanks.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Pyatt, and we have 4 children and 2, let me think, 2, I got to get this right, 2 son-in-laws and 2 daughter-in-laws to be, and a granddaughter, which you see on that screen, and then a grandson, newborn 2 weeks ago. So we have a very growing family.
Awesome.
And I am Lisa Elliotson, and I am the communication director here at Central. And my family on the screen is my husband, Derek. And then those 2 extraordinary young women are 2 girls from Japan who came to live with us for the past 2 years.
Awesome. Yeah, give them a applause. Well, thanks again, ladies, for being here. And just before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty of stuff, I just wanted to have a little bit of fun with you because I like having fun. We always like having fun here at Central. So I'm going to do a word association game. So I'm going to say a word, and you got to tell me the first thing that kind of pops into your head. Now, if you're like me, you can't actually say the first thing that pops into your head, okay? You have to say the second or the third thing, all right? So an example would be Starbucks. So what do you think of when you think of Starbucks? So I would say liquid gold. This is exactly what I would think of when I think of Starbucks. So here's some words. So Gina, I'm going to give you one. Potty training.
Took a long time.
Yes, it does. Yeah, my husband's still learning that trick, actually. It's pretty good. Yeah. Vacation. Anyone? Vacation?
Super fun.
Super fun. Yeah. Good. Yeah, good. Okay. Coffee.
Drug addiction.
Drug.
No, exhaustion, lack of sleep, IV.
The IV. Coffee and the IV. That's good. Lisa, what about chocolate?
Need it, want it, gotta have it.
And Michelle, last but not least, breast pump.
Okay, like I said first time, grandson.
Grandson. I would have said more of a torture device, but yeah, grandson for giving life, that works too. All right, awesome. Well, we are going to get started here in just a minute, but before we do, we're just going to watch a quick video.
I'm a perfectionist, and so that's hard with kids.
There's definitely days when I have my doubts about my abilities.
Struggle with my temper. I struggle with like how I react with situations. I wish I knew how to, I guess, just calm myself before speaking to them.
I wish I was better at taking time to sit down and just listen more to my child.
I wish I was more confident in being a mom.
I'm not the most patient person in the world.
Patience. Patience is far and away probably the biggest struggle.
I just want them to know just how much I love them.
My mom is totally awesome. She's fun to snuggle with. Pretty, funny. She does cook a lot of food for me. She's just unique. That's why I love her so much. We go on dates together. Like, we go shopping. She loves me a lot. I have a lot of favorite things about my mom. We like to watch movies together and color and stuff.
We go to church together, we volunteer together.
She is like my heart, I guess you could say, because she's that close to me.
My favorite thing is to jump on the trampoline with my mom. That's my most favorite thing, to go up high.
We like get ice cream or something and like you go to the nail salon and have fun.
My mommy's my hero. She's pretty and beautiful.
She is my hero.
She just will care about me and just always love me forever.
She's the best.
That's so awesome.
I always seem to focus mostly on the negative, and I guess I can walk out here and say that I'm doing something great and that my child is viewing me in totally different lenses as I view myself. So that's inspiring.
This is my calling. This is my job. This is what I love to do, and I will do it better and with love each and every day because those kids count on me and they love me for what I'm doing.
Kids have this beautiful way of just reminding us what's really important. And so yeah, that was a great video. So ladies, we want to know, what's something that you've learned, or maybe you're in the process of it now, maybe you're learning it right now as you've gone through life as a mom and as a woman, a spiritual mom, and what's the biggest lesson you have learned, and kind of what's God taught you through that? Gina, why don't we start with you?
Okay. Is that on? Can you? No? Right, sorry.
There you go.
There? Better? Okay. So over the last little while, a really big lesson that God has taught me about is to prioritize quality time with the kids. So I have young kids. I'm a full-time working mom. I also volunteer on a couple of the ministries here. The kids are in things, so it's a pretty busy schedule. And I found parenting for me was really becoming this never-ending to-do list. Lots of tasks. And, you know, although I was really busy doing a lot of things for the kids, I wasn't always doing things with the kids. So at the end of 2015, God spoke to me, and he challenged me with a question. And he said, Gina, what would life look like if you spent the whole entire next year just focusing on the kids? So I knew he was talking about quality time for sure. And I knew he was talking to me at the end of 2015 so that I wouldn't make all these New Year's resolutions. He was like, okay, I want you to clear your calendar instead. You know, because we would prioritize time with friends and family and events and all these things. And then like time with the kids would fit in there, right? So that's what I did. I kind of cleared the calendar, and I started putting things on it daily, weekly, and monthly. So daily, I couldn't really get more time out of the day that we had, but I made the most of the time that I did. So in the morning, we'd try and make a lot of fun, piggybacks out of bed, we'd play some music, we would laugh in the morning, tell jokes, and just kind of make the morning a good start to the day. You know, we all want to start a day good. And then in the evening, spending time with each other, homework, one-on-one conversations. And I was more aware of the time I was spending with them. So then on Fridays, we would do movie nights at home with popcorn. And then once a month, we would make a point as a family, or even just one-on-one with the kids, going out and just doing something. And it didn't have to be something big or extravagant or expensive, but we were just really intentional about it. And we did that, you know, last year, and it was really amazing, the fruit of it at the end of the year. I had to say no to some things during the year, but I love my kids, as every mom does, but I really love my kids. I have really cool kids, they got cool personalities, and it was just a really great year of spending time with them.
Amazing. Now, you had mentioned that you work full-time as well.
Yes.
And so a lot of times when moms work full-time, they always feel this guilt trip that you're supposed to be a stay-at-home mom, you stay with your kids, and that's how you fulfill them and you speak life into them. But for you, how do you find that that's worked for you as being a full-time mom?
Well, it is hard to be a full-time mom. I think it's hard to be a mom in general, whether you're working in the house or whether you're working out of the house. And I really hate mom guilt. Who hates mom guilt?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hate mom guilt, don't we, right? So I think it's really important in terms of getting over that guilt part. We live in a society where it costs, and you need 2 salaries. And so, you know what? I got to work. And so God kind of works with us with that. And I think it's just a matter of prioritizing. And sometimes there's just some things that you can't do. And I think it's really just giving yourself a break. You know what? Sometimes the dishes don't get done at the end of the night, and that's okay. Sometimes you just can't get to everything. So you just do your best, and that's it.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Gina. Heather?
Yeah, so the thing that I learned early on in motherhood was things don't always go as planned. And my second child, Josiah, was born very early, and along with that came a lot of complications and issues. He was in hospital for a long time. And when that happened to him, I looked at him, you know, struggling, hanging on to life. You know, there was several days where the doctor said, you know, go home, have a good sleep. Hopefully Josiah will be here tomorrow. And that was really hard to hear as a mom. And I struggled with that in that moment. I had a really hard time, and I was a Christian. I had been a Christian most of my life, and I was really angry at God. I thought, this isn't fair to him. This isn't fair to me. This isn't like the wonderful, you know, family thing that I had planned. Where are you in this? Like, this is not something that you should be doing to me. And I felt really alone, and that God had just kind of walked away, and I was trying to figure it out. Where he was in this. And a really good friend of ours came to the hospital and visited lots, and he just said, you know what, Heather, this is not okay. Like, you need to see that God is in this with you. He is right there alongside of you, and he's orchestrating things, and he's planned things, and this didn't happen as a surprise to God. He knew about this, and he has planned it all for you. So you need to open your eyes, and you need to look for God in the struggle. And I didn't necessarily like hearing that because it wasn't the answer I really wanted. But I listened to that and I thought, okay, fine. If you say that that's what it is, I'm going to try. And so I challenged God. I said, I need to see you really clearly. I need to know that that's true, that you are in this with me, and that I'm not alone, and that my son is not alone, and that nothing changed after that. His circumstances didn't get better. He didn't suddenly, be able to go home and all was grand. But I changed. What was different was that I was seeing God. He was already there. He was already doing all of these things. And I just didn't notice it before. But I was intentionally looking for God in the circumstances. And there were things that happened that you think, wow, that was a God moment. How did that even get put together? How did I get connected with that right doctor at the right time, in the right place? Or people that we met along the way that we could kind of go back to and say, okay, can you help us figure this out? And it just completely changed how I looked at things. And he has struggled his whole life with medical issues that has never gone away. Been in hospital countless times. And every time I feel like it's not easy, and I kind of get that, oh, here we go again, why does this have to keep happening? But I stop myself and say, wait a minute, I need to look for God in this situation. And, you don't have to be in hospital setting for too long. I know some other moms, same thing. You don't have to be in hospital too long before you look around and realize, you know what, there's so many other things that are so much worse. And it taught me to kind of be content with what I had, that even though it wasn't what I wanted, it wasn't what I thought would happen, I was okay with it. And I could see God in this situation. I know he's prepared us along the way. Things that happened years ago, that he taught us that lesson, that now when other things have been really hard that happened in my life and in my family, I've been able to look back at that and go, you know what? He was faithful then, and I know he will be faithful in this. But I need to look to him. I need to look for that, because I feel like if you focus too much on the sorrow of the situation, you'll miss it, right? So God is there. He's present. He's holding your hand through it. You need to look for him and look to him. And I would just challenge you, if you're struggling in your life, if this is something that, you're dealing with a situation where you feel like, okay, God, this isn't fair, this isn't right. God has walked away from me. It's not true. He is right there. And you need to believe the truth and tell the lie to go away. And God will honor that. And just challenge him. You know what? I need to see you show up in this situation and make it really clear. Like, I need to know it's you, and God will amaze you, surprise you. He won't walk away on you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Heather. Yeah. Christina?
And it's incredible to think, that God uses us to allow these things to happen and the experiences we get from it. So to share my experience, one of the things that I have learned in parenting is to stop the comparing game. So when my first son was born, right away I noticed around my loved ones, my friends, and people around me that this game of comparing came in all the time. So my son potty trained faster than yours, or my son was able to walk, at 10 months, or was able to read when he was 4. And, it goes on and on and on. And as they continue to grow older, that doesn't stop, but it is what you choose to do with it and how you allow yourself to fall into that trap. So when my 4th was born, comparison went out all windows. There was nothing to compare about, because he was born with a stroke, and we had to deal and navigate milestones in a completely different way than we'd ever had before. And we realized that at that point, it didn't matter what they were able to achieve. It mattered that they were alive. And we were told that, just like Heather's son, that he might not survive this, or he might never walk or talk. And so we decided, and God imparted in us, that the important thing was that he would live. And that is what we really focused on, was life. And we stopped the comparison at that, but we also started to open up our eyes to the people around us. And instead of comparing ourselves with them, we put ourselves in the shoes of where they were, and to be able to say, how can we share whatever is going on with you? And so that became really, really important for us as we navigated that. And a very wise friend who happens to sit beside me in that trial said to me, never ever doubt God in the darkness when you know what is truth in the light. And so that was very, very foundational for me. And as a parent, to know, you know what, I am blessed with the things that I've been given and the situations and the experiences that I've been given. And there's no need to compare because we all have different journeys and we are uniquely and wonderfully created by our God.
Awesome. And now, Christiane, give her a hand. Now, Christiane, you have 4 kids, so you and Andrew are crazy, basically, for having 4 kids. I don't know how you do it. But honestly, how do you do it? 4 kids. I can literally barely take care of 2, and my husband, so 3. I guess technically I have 3. But, so 4, honestly, tell us.
Well, then technically I have 5, because if anybody knows Andrew.
True that, yeah.
Just kidding, he's fantastic. You know what, I will say, kudos to Andrew. He is the step-up dad. There's nothing that he would ever do that I wouldn't do. So every dirty diaper, he did. Every plugged toilet that I would have unplugged, he would have done. You know, you just do it. So just like you do it with 2, you can do it with 4. You know, sometimes our house is crazy, and I meant what I said when I said, you know, the brute squad. Sometimes it feels when we walk into the church on the Sunday morning, there comes the brute squad, because you can hear us, you can see us, and we're just there in all senses.
Awesome. Thanks, Christiane. Yeah. Michelle, do you want to share?
So my story is probably similar to the other ladies as well. And I think the biggest life lesson for me that I've learned over the years, and it started very early on as well, was just learning to release my children to God and His care. Trusting Him in the things that I didn't understand and the things that came our way. We also stood at the kids one lonely night, and the doctor said to us, our 6-month-old at the time, that he would be fortunate to make it to the night, that he was in acute kidney failure, and that if he made it, the damage was irreparable, and that we were looking at a lifetime of medical care. And I'm a nurse, and that was a tough thing to hear, and of course, my mind was just gone crazy at that point. And yet, I knew in that room that night that I needed to make a choice. God had gifted him to us, and that I needed to just release that back to him and release the gift back to him. And that has really carried us through parenting all of our children over the years. You know, our oldest is 27 and our youngest is 21 now. And whether it be through their teenage years, through the careers they chose, through whether it be the when and who they married, and releasing them to go on missions trips, whether that be as a teenager or as adults. And we have a child there right now who's been serving for 3 years in Honduras, and our granddaughter being born there. So all of those things, just releasing them back to God and His care. And even as silly as 2 of our children deciding to jump from an airplane. Like, I don't know why they would ever want to do that to a mother. And I'm terrified of heights, so it was not a great day for me. But even in those things, just releasing them to God and knowing that He will care for them. They're not mine. He's entrusted them to me, and I offer them back to Him. And it's easier said than done.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Michelle.
Well, just over 2 years ago, my husband and I decided to open our home to some international students, and we did it through a program at Brock where they were coming to our area to study English. And we had 2 girls that you saw in the picture placed with us, and neither of them had ever been really exposed to faith. And before we brought them to an experience here at Central, had never attended a church experience. In the last year, definitely this last season has been the most difficult season of my life. As we walked with one of them through the darkest days you could have imagined, and every day hoping and praying that the next morning she would choose to live and to carry on with life. But bringing her here, and living in our home and opening up our lives, not just as someone living in our home, but as part of our family, so many things that I have learned, and I know that I am better for it. I learned the value of my friends and family that are incredible. I knew as an A-type firstborn, I wanted to fix it. I wanted to find a solution. And there was no way that on my own I could carry it, I could fix it, or I could even imagine making an eternal impact by myself. And so the value of family and friends is huge. To just have them rally and to let them in to support you, to borrow their faith when yours is small. I've learned how great God's power is to break through any language or culture barriers. When I brought the girls here for their first experience, both of them cried, and neither of them could really understand what was going on. And when we talked about it later, they said, I saw hope. And that's what this church family has given to 2 young women who today are watching in Japan. You gave them hope.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm still learning and why it's emotional is that the greatest challenge, the things that you don't feel that you've signed up for, that's where God has the greatest opportunity for growth. And that's where I have felt that I've had the greatest heart transformation.
Amazing. Yeah. And I loved the goal that one of your students had as she came here at Central. So I don't know if you could share that with us.
So our one student, Momoko, had a goal after that first Sunday. Her goal was to understand what churchman said. And so churchman is Pastor Bill, and you only have to be here one time to know he speaks really quickly. And so she reached that goal, and last Sunday we got a picture of them together, and he spoke life over her, and she knows that God loves her.
Awesome. Yeah, great. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Well, thank you. Thanks for opening up your hearts and just sharing kind of things that you guys have been going through. Just to finish off, why don't we share a life hack, something you've learned as a mom or a woman that you wish you knew years ago to help you get through anything, really. Just one quick life hack. Gina, want to start?
Okay, so my life hack is how to survive Christmas Day. And I have to put this in context for you. So my parents are divorced. John and I have siblings that are married. We have nieces. We have a nephew. We come from Italian families. Woo! And we have aunts and uncles and cousins with children and pets. And we love all of our family, and we love seeing them all, and they all want to see us at Christmas. So to make sure that I have some time with the family, I move Christmas Day up one day. So I move it. So 24th, we wake up and we're like, yay, Merry Christmas. And the kids open the gifts and their stockings and the whole bit. And it's great. There's no rush. There's no, bustling around. And we go to church at night, and then we wake up on Christmas morning and we're just ready for the rush. And we love it and we enjoy it, but we've had our time. So that's how I survive Christmas.
Nice. It's good. So you basically have a contract with Santa Claus, and he comes a day earlier for you.
He knows. We had a convo.
You got the
He's
hookups.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. I'll have to keep that in mind. Thanks.
I'll talk to him for you if you want.
Thanks. Thank you. Heather?
Yeah, so my life hack is something I recently learned that I wish I had learned a long time ago. You know how when you buy something new and it comes in that plastic hard packaging that's perfectly molded to the item inside, and the hardest task is just getting it out of there. You use scissors and you cut it, and then it's jagged and sharp and
blood everywhere.
Blood everywhere. By the time you get it out, you're throwing it across the room because you're so frustrated trying to get out of this crazy packaging. Okay, so I recently learned that all you need is a can opener. And you take that can opener and you go around the entire thing, and then you can just take the lid off and it's open.
Wow. I know. That deserves a clap. That's amazing.
Where was that? Years ago.
Yeah, that's really good.
So mine is really practical too. Keep in mind I have 4 children.
Five.
He's not on that list, although I should put him on there. we get some stuff done around the house. We have a Rutledge Redeeming Points sheet, which sticks on the fridge, and it has points for various household items. So things like empty the dishwasher is 50 points, do a load of laundry is 100 points, write a letter to a family member or a friend is another 100 points. Well, when our kids get into trouble, and there's 4 of them, they do get into trouble, we've utilized this list. So as part of their, disciplinary action or whatever, they end up losing something. So it might be media time or screens or whatever. In order to get it back, they actually have to work for it. Gives them an opportunity to think, and our house gets clean much faster.
Smart, very smart. Michelle, Lisa, you want to go? Yeah.
Sure. Mine is for the art in your home. So when you are tired of your art or you want some cheap art, find a sale at the fabric store, purchase the fabric that you like, get your staple gun, and fasten it to an artist canvas.
Very nice. Good, yeah.
Okay, now I'm the serious one of the group because mine is not like that. Mine really is a life hack, I think, is don't or choose not to focus on the what ifs in life. And there was a time when we were about a year into our journey, and Mike and I, we tend to go to the water. That's where we find solstice. And we were sitting in Port Dalhousie on a park bench and looked across. And I looked across, and there was Toronto in all of its stark reality, right? You've got the CN Tower, and you can see the dome. And it was just there in front of me. And it was like so in front of me. And then I looked to the left, and there was the escarpment, and it was in the evening, so it was beautiful. And then I looked to the right, and there was the open water. And I thought, I have a choice to make, not to live in the land of what ifs. Don't look and focus always on Toronto. Don't focus on what that means, sick kids, hospital, surgeries. Don't look at that. And I have a choice to make. I can look to the right, look to the left. I can enjoy the beauty of those things and my other children and the other things that God has blessed us with.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. And one more life hack I'll share mine with you is a little bit of coffee and a whole lot of Jesus. That's what I need. Seriously, I pray a lot, probably 20 to 30 times a day. That is literally what gets me through the day sometimes. So that's all you really need, I think, to survive. Coffee and Jesus. That's it. I'm kidding. So thank you again, ladies, for being here, to be willing to share. Thank you so much. And if you're sitting out there and you can relate to these women, you're like, yeah, that's exactly what we're going through. It's been tough. They're going to be down here at the bottom of the stage, willing to pray with you, to speak life into you. If you just even need an encouragement, they will be here for you. So you can come up as soon as the service is over for that. But yeah, let's give these ladies another round of applause. We're so happy you're here. Thanks. And if you're watching online, be sure to connect with your online host. They'd love to answer any questions you have and pray with you as well. So before we close the service, Michelle, would you just mind closing us in prayer?
God, I just thank you for each person in this room. I thank you for each home that is represented. I thank you for each woman in this room. God, you know each one. Mm-hmm. You know the moms-to-be. You know those who are hoping and praying. You know those who are broken. You know those who are hurting. And God, we just thank you. We know and we can testify up here today. You are our healer. You are our hope. You are our strength. You are our fortress. Mm-hmm. You are our rock. And God, I just pray that you would speak into each of us today. Mm-hmm. Lord, that wherever we're at, Lord, that you would make yourself known. Lord, that we just thank you that you know us intimately. And Lord, I just pray that you would bless each home here, each home represented. Lord, that your face would shine over each one. And that, Lord, you would give peace to each home and each person. We just thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Yeah, great. Thank you. And just before you ladies head out, be sure to grab we have some little samples of some loose leaf tea bags that we want to give you. Moms, we love you. Sisters, we love you. Grandmas, we love you. If you're a woman, we love you here at Central. And so we just want to give you a little something. Take some time to yourself. Enjoy it. Have an afternoon. And just have an amazing day. Happy Mother's Day. And thanks so much for coming, everyone.